You are now listening to the Narrative Podcast with Halsey Allen. The Narrative Podcast is changing the narrative one episode at a time.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Narrative Podcast. And if you're just now tuning in, I'm your host, Halsey Allen. Welcome all my narrators. And welcome to all newcomers. If you just, newly getting hip to my podcast, just managed to come up on me on a random scroll. Welcome to you. The Narrative Podcast is the home of positivity for original people and reciprocity. So basically, what is the Narrative Podcast? It's called the Narrative Podcast for a reason, because I'm changing the narrative of how original people are being portrayed in the media and original culture. So the media depicts a false narrative of original people and original culture. They intentionally do this. They perpetuate negative stereotypes and propaganda about original people and original culture. They do it for their own base ends. It's mostly just money, and then also resources, in an attempt to, basically control the minds of the masses and present us as one way and misrepresent facts and misrepresent our history and our heritage and everything we bring to the table and who we are as a people. So on my platform, what I want to do is basically just highlight us and celebrate us, all of our accomplishments, all of our achievements, and portray us in a positive light. And how do I do it? Basically, I'm just dedicated to destroying negative stereotypes about our people. As a matter of fact, my tagline for this podcast is the Narrative Podcast, changing the narrative one episode at a time by destroying negative stereotypes about original people and original culture. And the way I destroy the negative stereotypes is to provide positive frames of reference about original people and original culture. So when I'm saying original culture and original people and original culture, I mean Black people and Black culture. I just had a recent epiphany about the word Black and decided to, excommunicate that out of my vocabulary, because I believe in the power of words on my platform. So I believe in speaking things over yourself, speaking things into existence. And I challenge you to look in the dictionary and the thesaurus, look up the word Black. And the most recent cultural reference I can give to you is that the 1990s adaptation of the story, autobiography of Malcolm X, Spike Lee's adaptation of it, when Malcolm was in the library with Brother Baines, and they looked up the word black. So this is like a psychological game they play with us. Now, by calling yourself original, it cannot be refuted. It's scientifically proven. We were originally here first on Earth, originally here first in the Americas, originally first in the Latin America, originally first pretty much anywhere in the world. First inventors, first architects, first anything you name. That's us. And it's all inclusive. It doesn't matter where you're at in the world, where you're from in the world. You can be from Haiti, Jamaica, the islands, Hawaii, Trinidad, wherever. As long as you're melanated and you can trace your origins back to Africa, you are an original person. So, we can stop that divide between, original people here in America and abroad. So we're all original people. All right. So anyway, like I said, this podcast is dedicated to basically showcasing us in a positive light. And I do that by providing positive frames of reference about entrepreneurialism, doing for yourself, doing for the community, being, stand up brothers and sisters. That's what I provide examples of. I also have my podcast divvied up into sections. Each section has a speaking points, and I put it together quite nicely in a good time frame, so I'm just not droning on, talking without a purpose. Like I said, I have speaking points in each section, and also I want to, challenge your intellect, give you something to think about, just provide positive content instead of always negative, gossip and, raking another original person over the coals. So, that's just basically what I do here on this platform. Yeah, sorry. I just took an extra long pause. So might as well just dive right into the content. First section, I'm extending the olive branch to all original people that either own or operate their own business. If they need or would like some free promotion, please contact me at passionwebmail@poeticpassion.host. In the subject bar, type promo. In the body of the email, include your background story. Tell me about yourself, business, product, and service. The more thorough you are, the more thorough my promotional ad for you will be. Just make sure if you have a brick and mortar location, include the physical address, the email address, hours of operation, how you came upon the product, how you got into the business, what inspires you to get into the business, whatever your business is. The consumers want to know that. So, the broader picture you paint in that email, the more detailed and vivid I can paint a promotion for you. And I'm doing it for 110% free. The reason why I'm doing it is to do my part to keep the original people's dollars circulating in the original community. So, hoping to promote businesses that do for the community, hire their own, and then also give back to the community that they are rooted in. All right. Then on to my second section, which is a contest promotion. I'm currently running a contest promotion. I'm currently promoting a contest specifically for this podcast. It's an incentive for listeners to, tune in and listen to me. And then also as a reward for my current listening fan base, to people that never miss a episode, who always tune in. If you enter this contest, you'll be getting a free prize just for participating in the topic. And my contest topic is shopping while black. And I came up with this concept before I had the epiphany about the word black, but I'm pretty much taking it all the way out of my vocabulary as far as this podcast is concerned. But I'll still say the word black if I come across the article and that's the way they word it in the article, or but as far as me saying it, I'm gonna probably always say original people. But anyway, so shopping while black, it's a phrase that all original people are familiar with, whether it's here in America or abroad. And it is basically the mistreatment of us as consumers, as retail consumers, whatever, goods, products, or service. When we patronize a business that does not like or cater to original people, they mistreat us with poor customer service or following us around the establishment as if we're going to steal something. Or, being mean and nasty. Some places will straight up tell you they don't want you in their establishment. Some places, depending on where you're at in the world. And although we are, starting to get our own businesses and starting to develop our own communities, as we did before we became desegregated. We had our own churches, we had our own schools, restaurants, hotels, all that. Anything in the world now we once had that was exclusively for us, by us. But just the downside is, a lot of people just don't, want to patronize us, but that doesn't give them the license to mistreat us either. So that's why I'm doing that contest, is to keep the conversation going by sharing your experiences and hopefully, just putting it out in the universe that'll help combat this situation until we do get, universally across the board, every single state, city in the United States has their own original people neighborhood, like exclusively for original people, all businesses, until we get to that point. In the meantime, we don't need to be getting treated subhuman. So to enter the contest, just simply hit me up at the exact same email address that I gave for the free promotion. The way I'm separating the two is the subject bar. So in the subject bar for this contest, type "chew on this," and then / or dash, whichever one you're most comfortable with. Shopping while black. If you don't even have to type the whole word. You you can just type SWB, and in the body of the email, include your most recent Shopping While Black experience, your address so I know where to send your prize. And your prize, by the way, is a bulk supply of your favorite snack. So your mailing address so I know where to send it. And then, what type of snack do you want? Very easy. Not charging any entry fee. And there's currently no time frame in which no deadlines yet. I'll announce when I just stop doing the contest altogether, but as of right now, there is no deadline to get it in. Just, hit me up at Passion Webmail at poeticpassion.host. Subject bar, chew on this, /or- Shopping While Black or SWB, whichever is more convenient for you, and that's that. And again, the reason why I'm doing it is just for listener participation, incentive, reward to start listening to my podcast if you're not an avid listener, or a reward for avid listeners, whichever way you want to look at it. All right. Now, diving into the official meat of my podcast, my very first actual section is the highlight section. And in this section, what I'm doing is I'm highlighting businesses owned and operated by original people. The purpose of me doing this is, again, to provide positive frames of reference about original people and original culture. Just highlighting and showcasing that we are, diligent workers. We are dutiful people. We enjoy doing for self and our community. So the types of businesses that I highlight in this section are people, just normal people, salt of the earth people that wanted to do something, inspired to do something. If they do have, an educational background, it doesn't necessarily, or it didn't necessarily align up with their business, like what they went to college for didn't align up, for what the current business that they're owning, operating. But, they just figured it out anyway. And, they either pay into a nonprofit organization or, have their own nonprofit organization or do some type of thing that benefits the neighborhood, that benefits the community. And lastly, aligns up with my current theme. And my current theme is the season of summer. And I think that this week should be like, the last week for that as we're transitioning into fall, summertime. Pretty much this week is officially over. Let me check my calendar. Yeah, today's the 20th, so yeah, so next weekend will probably be my last business about, this weekend will be my last business with the season of summer. I don't know. We'll see next weekend what I decide to highlight. I may do one, because this week, summer is pretty much officially over. School has already started back. We're moving into the fall. So I don't know. But anyway, on to my businesses I will be highlighting. So something that we do every single summer without fail. I mean, we do it all year round, but summertime is a very, very big season for it. It's just like, it just hits different in the summertime when you do it. Will you do this to, basically enjoy family and friends and the weather? And it's very relaxing and peaceful. And it just brings, good memories, nostalgia. And the thing I'm talking about is, of course, grilling outdoors, or barbecuing. I mean, there is a difference between grilling and barbecuing. Like, barbecuing is slow and low, grilling is high heat. But anyway, whatever the case, eating food prepared outside, and it doesn't have to just be meat. You can throw some veggies on the grill as well, but I digress. That should have been a perfect segue into the businesses that I'll be highlighting today. You should have already guessed when I said grilling. Today I will be highlighting businesses that specialize in constructing and selling grills. Or barbecue pits, grills, barbecue pits, whatever you want to call them. Notes. Today I just got 2 for you. I usually have 3 to 4, but there are like thousands, literally thousands of, original people owned and operated grill manufacturing companies out there that manufacture grills and grilling accessories. But I always just try to go with the ones that have the most motivational, interesting background stories, in my opinion. So this first one definitely has a very interesting background story of how they got started. This particular business is called George's Grills. And I believe the state is Ohio, because the article I read said Akron. And the only place with the city of Akron that I can think of is Ohio. But if you know better, if you're familiar with George's Grills brand, please, hit me up to correct me. But anyway, George Grills was originally, the concept anyway of the grills comes by way of a former WW2 vet, George Hammett, and he basically made grills. Like it was a side business, and his main job was Firestone Company. He had a pretty big family, so he was the provider for his family. He had a daughter. Didn't say how many other children that he had. He just said children in the article that I read. But it was his daughter who actually started the business of making grills, carrying on his legacy. He passed away due to the C-19 in 20. So his daughter at that time, she was 64 when she started the business. So it's been 2 years, she's 66 now. But he basically taught her how to, take old oil drums and weld them into grills. So it's a original woman-owned company. She got that skill from her father, George, and then she's passed it on to her daughter, who is 37 now. Originally 34 when they started the business. They started the business, basically it was a side business and it gained popularity. After George passed away, people were still requesting the grills, and they just went on and decided to, make it a full-time thing, start an official business. So his daughter, Deborah Turner, started the business with help of her daughter, Lauren Turner, and decided to keep the legacy alive. Now, at some point, being in her silver ages, she went on and just, let her daughter step up and take control of the business, and she's in pretty much in control. But I saw on the site where I got the article from, saw video footage of Deborah still taking the blowtorch and welding the grills. So she's still a part of the operation. It's just like she doesn't do a lot, obviously because of her age, but she still looked pretty good shape, pretty healthy. But anyway, the daughter, Loren, is heading over, George's Grills. They don't really have a website to advertise on Facebook. So it's www.facebook.com/George's Grills. You can also email Lorena Turner. So it's her email address is lorettaturner@aol.com for inquiries about the grills. Alrighty, and on to our next business. Now, our next business is about a brother that goes by the name of G Stacks. His government name is Garnett Jeffrey. He started his business in 2012. Pretty much, it was born after a tumultuous upbringing in Oakland, California, in the Bay Area. He also has clientele in South Central LA as well. I think one of his most avid supporters that he does business with is Warren G. He's also designed grills for E40, Marshall Lynch, and a whole host of other recording artists and entertainers. So basically, he had a really tumultuous childhood. He stayed in and out of correctional facilities all his life. He actually learned to weld in a juvenile detention center. And then later on in life, he at some point joined a church, and that church had their own type of, vocational training program. And then he obtained his welding degree from that program, and I believe it was called the Cypress Mandela Training Program, or Cypress Mandela Training Center. And then after that, he found himself incarcerated a couple more times. So upon his release from prison, and after he had obtained his official, welding certification, he found work at a warehouse. He was in the union for welders, and then he got into an accident in the warehouse. He got ran over by a employee on a forklift. Took some injury. His leg got damaged. Still, it doesn't really say how he ran over his leg, but I think he sustained the injury. Article said the person operating the forklift was intoxicated, so took him out of action for a while. He returned to work after his injuries, and then again at that same facility, he got into another accident. It doesn't say, the second accident he got, the details about that, but this time the injury was more severe, and he ended up having to get workman's comp. And basically, after his workman's comp ran out, he got the motivation to, just start his own business. It didn't say how. He just, out of all the things he knew how to weld, like wide grills, but he started making grills and selling them to people, selling them to various restaurants, barbecue huts. The barbecue scene is very big in California, so pretty much anybody that needed a grill for their restaurant, he's the plug. And his business, he just stayed consistent with it. Door to door, word of mouth. He stayed diligent and didn't, let his shortcomings stop him. He had a tumultuous past. He was incarcerated, but through all that, he managed to obtain a skilled trade, and it served him well. So to support him, his email address is gstacks.fours.com. Let me double check this. Don't want to tell you something wrong. It's www.gstackpits.com. And then on Instagram is at GStacks Custom Smokers. And then his Facebook is GStack Custom Smokers. And that will conclude this section of the highlights section. And I'm going to give a warm round of applause to GStacks and the Hammett family at George's Grills. So, like I said, usually I have 3 to 4, but just those 2 right there were, very exceptional, really stand out, captured and reflected the human spirit and original people tenacity that, just can't keep us down and we don't say die spirit that we possess. And then, by the way, I forgot a couple more things about Mr. Hammett. I got to put a little bit more respect on his name. Because in addition to, the grills, he also repaired washers and dryers. He built dog houses and custom-made go-karts. So he was very handy. And I'm pretty sure he taught his daughter, how to do that as well. And he was a WW2 vet. So, yeah. All right. Moving right along. Now into the next section of my podcast. This section is called the Spotlight section. In this section, I will be giving a prominent figure, usually in the entertainment industry, their flowers, their just dues, for whatever, for their work and, holding us in a high regard, either through their philanthropy or using their platform to speak on us and our conditions, being unapologetic, about our plight, original people's plight, especially here in America. And just, making us look good as a people, or just being a stand-up brother, stand-up sister. That's what I do in this section. And then sidebar, I started the wave for spotlighting, because before I started doing spotlighting on my podcast, there was nobody on the internet or anywhere else spotlighting anyone. And this episode marks 118. You can go through my log and do your own research. Let me know if I'm off, but to my calculations, I did not hear nor see anyone spotlighting anybody in articles, on the internet, on YouTube, on TikTok, whatever. But anyway, I digress. So today's spotlight comes to the figure I will be spotlighting today, shining the spotlight on, is Miss Loretta Devine. So she was born in 1949 in Houston, Texas. It can't be right. Let's see. Got to double check, guys. I don't want to tell you something wrong. Yep, I got it right. So yeah, she was born in August 1949, Houston, Texas. In the ACES home area of Houston. Graduated in 1971 with a bachelor's in speech and drama. And in 76 also master's in fine arts. She also pledged Alpha Phi Alpha. She is a multi NAACP Image Award winner. She has pretty much almost any type of acting accolade you can think of, she has, or at least been nominated for at one time or another during her career. She is a very convincing actress. There's not too many roles where she didn't, do a convincing job. Her career spans at least 5 decades in film, television show after television show, movie after movie. She's never disappointed. She's always delivered. She's always been on time with her lines and just creating believable characters. I'm spotlighting her today because she always represents us well. She never shies away from, the topic of race. Anytime she's asked, about our struggle, our plight, on any platform she's on, her responses never disappoint. She doesn't she's not a fence straddler. She just tells you straight up how it is. Doesn't say all the nonprofit organizations, but she has tons of those. She's on tons of committees, lend her voices for, you name a cause, she's probably lend her voice and her talents for it. Like I said, she is a top-notch actress, and I feel she doesn't get enough just dues as an actress. She's very underrated, and we should be celebrating her and all the time, and be proud that we got to enjoy her in so many projects, and she's continuing to work. And none of her roles ever disappoint. She always hits her mark on, whatever she's cast in. So crop it up. Thank you, Mrs. Loretta Devine. Always an honor and a privilege, sister. Wish you all the success. Can't wait for your next role, next endeavor. So we need to definitely just keep her in the bubble, and she's not done yet. All right. And rounding out, my next section is the health and wellness section. In this section, what I'm doing is basically promoting the healthy, active, fit lifestyle. talking to you about, just basically how to maintain a prosperous life, maintain your vitality, your mental clarity, your mental focus, and how to keep your immune system fortified with, all kinds of health tips. It's usually about the health benefits of a veggie, fruits, herb, plant, extract, elixir, or, on the physical stuff, physical exercises, physical things you can stay healthy that will increase your vitality, and mental things you can do to increase your, total body wellness and vitality. And the reason why I'm doing this section is because as an original person, we are at the target of pretty much every single dis-ease you can think of. Powers that be, they love, genetically modifying our food, doing things to the air, doing things to the water, doing things to, cosmetics, and, pretty much everything that, disrupts or disorients or destroys our physiological makeup. Pretty much, all things bad are kind of geared towards us. They love picking on us. So I'm doing this section as just basically a countermeasure to keep us healthy, active, and fit. Anybody can listen to my podcast, but my core audience is original melanated people. And so these are tips specifically geared towards us, because everything bad is geared toward us. So we are the most at the target. We need to keep ourselves healthy, active, and fit at all times to overcome all these diseases. So having said that, today's health and wellness tip is the health benefits of lion's mane's mushrooms. And it is a fungi. It's very rare. It's recently gained popularity because it is now, a famed superfood. There's all kinds of benefits. The lion's mane itself is so versatile, cooking wise, like it can, absorb all kind of flavor, anything, you cook it with. Very dense, very earthy, very rich. And then you can also dehydrate the mushroom and also put it in smoothies and health shakes and smoothies as well. Or, you can dehydrate it into a seasoning to season and flavor other foods with. And still get, all those added health benefits. So that I'm about to go over now. So one of the health benefits is it improves memory, improves brain functions. It also helps relieve stress, and studies have shown it also helps combat depression. It also, has some enzymes that help the brain recover from really bad nervous system injuries. So like if you got in a car wreck or something and, you need to recuperate, you was bedridden or just, had a blow to the head or, just going through any type of psychological trauma, stress, anything going on in the brain, it will help, those brain functions. It also has an enzyme called H. pylori that helps protect the stomach against ulcers. Pardon me for that sound effect. I kind of brushed up against it. Then it's also anti-inflammatory. And of course, like all mushrooms, they help boost the immune system. Tons of B vitamins, tons of nutrients, tons of minerals. I'm not going to rifle off all the nutrients and minerals that it's packed with, but all good for you. Really no real drawback from it, other than too much of anything is not good. Probably should consult your physician before consuming it if you are allergic to like mold, because fungi is technically a mold. But other than that, it's all good. You definitely should try to, do your research and get some lion's mane mushroom in your life. All right, now on to my second to the last section, and this is my speaking point of the day. Sometimes I don't have any speaking point per se, if there's nothing going on in the world or nothing I think, deserves or needs our attention, I might skip it all together. But if it's something on my mind, it's something that I think about that as it relates to us, or just some observation, I probably share that. But mostly this section is designed to control the narrative and tell our story. If it's breaking news, something in our community that deals directly with us, or something happening globally, and they put us into the fray, I do this section to basically tell our story. Because history has taught us if you don't tell your own story, your story will be told for you. And currently, they're telling our story like really, really messed up. So that's why I do this section. And today, kind of just, I don't really have anything planned. Just something I noticed. I probably did speak on it, but sometimes I recycle little points that I made. But it just seems like to me that we as a people, we need to work on this validation thing. Because it seems like nothing's official until it's validated by people outside of our culture. See, it's a difference between trying to enlighten somebody and then needing their validation. And it's like, to me, from my perspective, we don't exhibit or display a sense of urgency until were validated by dominant society, people outside of our culture until, they say something. Like we need their permission to exist, basically. Like award shows, like we're not a good whatever until we get, one of these little mainstream awards. And then if we don't win the award, then we, throw a tizzy and play the race card and be like, they just did this because, I'm black and da-da-da. But then it's like, it's not our award show. Of course. Then the validation with the laws. We get mad when, we want that inclusion. It's like we're confusing equality, inclusion with equality. We want to be included, and then we want to be our fair share. And I don't think we should be at this point concerned with, wanting to be included, sitting at their table. It's like, I don't want to be included. And no, I don't want to be equal to you. And not that I think I'm superior than you or better than you, but I don't feel like I want to be on equal footing with people who are okay with the way my people have been treated and still today treated the exact same way, viewed the exact same way, ostracized the exact same way, persecuted the exact same way as civilization has begun. Since civilization pretty much has begun, people outside of our race has ostracized us, has persecuted us, has wronged us, has stolen from us, has raped us, has lied to us, lied on us. So we should just be over trying to be equal. I don't want to be equal. I don't want to be included. I want to be left alone. I want you to give me what you owe me and then get out of my face. I don't want you having say so. You don't get to have the say so. You don't get to have say so about something that belongs to me anyway. This whole country belongs to us anyway. Shouldn't be worried about them having a say so, and it belongs to us. We shouldn't be like afraid to hurt their feelings. Oh, you can't say this, you can't say that, because then they'll get offended. And we don't want to offend anybody, but they don't have a problem offending us. You see? They come up with all these, ways of getting offended, but they don't take things that we find offensive off the table. They don't cancel people that offend us. We say anything, do anything, we're canceled immediately. Television shows, an offensive lyric on a record. The lyric will be taken out of the record. A group finds offensive. They edit it out of the record. Can't say that anymore. But nobody has a problem with, the N-word in idiotration, whether it's A at the end of it or ER, or words that offend us, phrases that offend us, pictures and statues and monuments and flags specifically designed to denigrate, demoralize, and deprive us. They don't have a problem with that. So no, I don't want to be equal to somebody that can rest easy with everything I've gone through and still continuing to go through today. I don't need your permission to be great. Thank you for your participation. Thank you for your concern. Thank you for your efforts. But it's not needed nor required. The only thing we need is what you owe us anyway. And I continue to say it. I'm going to say it. I'm going to run the record. I'm going to run it into the ground every time I think about it. Reparations is a debt owed. It's not a handout. It isn't tokenism. It's not a welfare check. It's something you owe us. And then while we're on the subject, for all, past and welfare recipients, people on public assistance, don't you dare hold your head down in shame, because if the system wasn't the way it was now, you wouldn't be needing it in the first place. That's one. And two, if you're on it, that's the least they can do for you anyway, because they owe you way much more than that. They owe us more than public housing. They owe us more than financial aid. They owe us more than public assistance. They owe us more than food stamps. They owe us more than welfare. They owe us more than affirmative action. They owe us more than vocational training programs. You understand? It's owed to us. Anything like any type of grant going around that you're eligible for, they owe you that anyway. You shouldn't even have to apply for it. It should just be given to you. Because without us, this country could not exist. No countries really could, if you really want to be super thorough. Because we were the original everything. We was here first on any corner of the globe. So we don't want your inclusion. We don't want your sympathy. We don't want your compassion. We want what's owed to us. Pay us what you owe. If you're truly sorry, make it your business to help us acquire what is owed to us. Because actually it's a debt that cannot be repaid. There's no way you can ever repay us for that. Like say sorry and, whatever. We don't want apologies. Just give us what you owe us. If you work a 9-to-5 job, they don't want excuses. They want you to do what you said you could do when you took the job. You interviewed, looked them in their face, they looked you in the face, they said, hey, this is what we expect. You can do it or you can't. We don't want any excuses. If you can't do it, you're out of here. Now, in our case, we can't be out of here. They owe us. They did a whole lot of things that we didn't sign up for. Well, I'm going to put a pin in it right there. I think I made my points. So moving on to the next section. My next section is my final thought. Final thought section is a gem, pearl of wisdom, something that will inspire critical thinking, just something that'll resonate with you. Just stay with you for the rest of the day. I didn't think about that. I never thought about that. Thought I would like that. Just, something on your mind. Just put something on your mind. And my final thought today is enough. And what do I mean by that? I think, as an original person, each and every one of us should always ask ourselves, as far as like self-accountability, am I doing enough? Is there something more I could do? In the service industry, they got a little saying called, it goes kind of something like, it's a rhyme. It's if you got time to lean, you got time to clean. And we be expecting people to clean our messes up for us when we're perfectly capable of cleaning up our own messes, our own plight. Yes, the powers that be make it extremely difficult, especially if we're talking about America. We should all know now that this system of democracy was not designed for us, will never be altered for us to survive and be functioning at 110% without some type of struggle, without some type of obstacle, without something to either stop you completely or to slow your momentum down. They will not. I don't care what type of party affiliation you belong to, whether you're a Democrat, Republican, Green Party, Independent, whatever, they're not going to alter these laws. They're not going to change these policies to ensure us victory, to ensure us a better way of life. The only way we're going to do it is if we're going to sit down and do it. All the Christians, no matter what denomination, all the Muslims, no matter if you NOI or Orthodox, Moors, Hebrew Israelites, whatever faction you represent, wherever you're from, whether you came over here through the slave trade or you was born here, which a lot of us was, and they lied to us about that. We all got to band together. We all have to unite. We all have to sacrifice, and we all got to fight together. But before that, got to answer the question every day when you wake up, am I doing enough? Am I doing my part? Is there something else I could do? What else could I do? And it's up to you to find your talent, where I can stick my peg into the pegboard. Like, how do I help out in this? Where am I at in this big painting? Where's Waldo? You got to find Waldo. You're Waldo. You got to stand back and find yourself. And then also not for yourself, just you and yours. It's for future generations so they don't have to go through what you went through. And I think that's another big problem we have in our community is we're always saying, well, didn't nobody help me get on? Nobody helped me. I figured it out. Yeah, it's called an exception to the rules. You was an exception to the rules. Yesterday's rules are not today's rules. They keep pushing the goalposts back. So if you was if you was formerly incarcerated with some serious misdemeanors or felonies, but through your own due diligence, you managed to start your own company and pull yourself up by your bootstraps and propel yourself and launch you forward in life, don't you dare, because you've ascended, look down your nose at your brother or your sister and call them trifling because they can't, because they didn't have whatever it is you had inside of you to help you through your situation. Don't look down at them and call them trifling because they don't have that same tenacity, they don't have that same drive that you had to get yourself out of your situation. Because we're all different. We all have different circumstances. We all got different trials and different tribulations. The only thing you need to be asking yourself at all times is, am I doing everything I could be doing? Can I do more? That's all the only thing we need to be asking ourselves. Can I do more? What else can I do? Just ask yourself the question. Just ask yourself the question. Don't worry about finding the solution right away, but you definitely, need to be asking yourself that every single day. And I'm going to put a pin in it right there. And I hope you will join me next weekend with another full episode of the Narrative Podcast. I'm asking all my listeners, all my narrators, everybody out there in podcast land to download this episode of the Narrative Podcast and all previously recorded episodes of the Narrative Podcast to keep, the platform growing so I can get them views, I can get those clicks, out here on these algorithm streets. So I can grow my platform and keep on delivering you some quality content. I'm aspiring to have some guests pretty soon. I'm aspiring to transition into, on the visual side, start doing some videos. But I need your help, your narrators. So please download this episode of the Narrative Podcast and our previously recorded episodes of the Narrative Podcast. Also, I have my very own personal poetry blog called Halsey's Poetry Corner at www.mrhalseysblogs.com on blogger.com, powered by Adam, in the effort to help with things, also to, help speed up my progress on all these other projects that I'm working on. Please support that as well. And how you support it is, again, like I said, go to the link, www.mrhalseysblogs.com, and share my poetry on all platforms. Share it on your Twitter, on your Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Tumblr, Pinterest, Reddit, Wix, whatever you got. Share one of my poems, one of my Halsey's Poetry Corner poems on all platforms. You can comment too if you like it. If you really like it, you can comment. You know, you can do a little TikTok video. Hey, I read this poem on Halsey's Poetry Corner, like a promotional type thing, whatever. But just make sure you get it out there that you love them. They're very motivational, very inspiring. I write all my poems in the moment. They're pretty much, I write and post them pretty much daily. I've been off lately, but I'm slowly getting back to normal with posting. So they're pretty much every single day or every other day. Please support them. And when you support them, you're supporting me. And when you're supporting me, you're supporting the movement because I'm for us. And you will see that I'm for us in the near future. I got all kinds of projects coming up. Yeah, so thanks for your participation today. Thanks for listening. Also, tune into me on a regular basis so that you do not miss a live broadcast feed of the Narrative Podcast. I never know what days I'm going live. I do know it's like usually through the weekday because, like I said, I broadcast pretty much every single weekend without fail. That's my broadcast day, my full broadcast. On my weekday broadcast is just like I don't know which day. I'm delivering positive frames of reference on my weekdays, sharing articles, positive articles. So yeah, please support by tuning in regularly. Surefire way not to miss me is to follow me on YouTube. So my YouTube channel, Halsey's my YouTube channel just Halsey Allen, HALLZIEALLEN. Subscribe to that on YouTube because when I'm live, it just automatically gets broadcast to my YouTube, and then also automatically goes to my Twitter as well. So you can follow me on Twitter to avoid missing a live broadcast of the Narrative Podcast. And I'm Halsey Allen on Twitter, HALLZIE Allen, ALLEN. And I think I'm I Stay Good. I Stay Good at Halsey Allen on Twitter. So yeah, put a pin in it there. Thank you for listening. Thank you, everyone. It's been great. I enjoyed you today. It's been super duper real. And yeah. Join me next weekend for another full episode of the Narrative Podcast. Be looking out for a poem today on Halsey's Poetry Corner. Peace, love. Check me out next time. Halsey Allen and the Narrative Podcast signing off.
Set your place on fire. Put a little bit of shit, put a little bit of shit, get a little bit of gasoline. Put a little bit of shit,
to the Narrative Podcast with Halsey Allen. The Narrative Podcast is changing the narrative one episode at a time.